Alright, hey guys, thanks for coming back to check out another video. I promise I'm here behind the camera. You just can't see me. So, today we are going to explore all of my highlighters, all the liquids, creams, powders. Those are liquids and creams are kind of the same thing. But that's what today's video is. I'm going to give you swatches of everything, and so let's just get right into it. Okay, so as you can see, these are all of my like liquid cream kind of highlighters. So I do have two of these ABH Liquid Glow highlighters. That one is going to roll away. We will just let it. So this first one is the shade Perla. This is in my 21 by 2021, and then I do have the shade Oyster here as well, which this tube is like still basically brand new. This one you can see maybe like the difference when you compare them. This one looks a little fatter to me. Then I do have a ColourPop light stick, oops, and it is in this shade, let's see, Magpie, I believe. So again, I will give you all swatches of these. I honestly don't think, I might have used this once or twice, but I don't really have like an opinion of it. I've been trying to focus on this highlighter stick. This is a Tarte Twinkle stick in the shade Spotlight. This one is in my Partners in Cream project pan. So I've really been trying to focus in on like using this one up, and then I'll switch and start focusing in on this one probably. And then I have another like liquid highlighter from Tarte. It's the Tartist Pro Glow. And I think this is in the shade Exposed, if you can read that. I hope the lighting in here is okay. Like I'm just filming at the vanity in natural light, so sorry if it's a bit off. But yeah, this, I think these two, both from Tarte, I got in a BoxyCharm, and they are both my oldest like cream products. So this one is not currently in any kind of project or anything, but I do have a goal of like trying to get this one out by the end of the year. And then I'm not sure like where I acquired this, maybe in like a free gift when I made like an Ulta order, but it's a Tarte and it's the Shape Tape Glow Wand. It's in the shade Alight. I don't honestly know enough about this. I have heard some people say that you mix it in with your Shape Tape concealer to give it kind of like a brightening effect. I don't know, but I just chucked it in with the rest of my highlighters because I assumed that's how I would use it. So let me quickly do some swatches for you. Okay, so hopefully you can see pretty well here. So this, first one is the ABH Liquid Glow in the shade Perla. I have really enjoyed mixing this in with my foundations just to like make them more glowy. Most of the foundations I have are matte, so currently I've been mixing this in with my CYO foundation, and I really love the way that looks. The next one is the ABH Liquid Glow in the shade Oyster, and hopefully you can see that Perla is definitely more of like a golden champagne, and Oyster is definitely more like a pink. So I don't think that I would use Oyster in the same way I've been using Perla. Next is that ColourPop light stick in the shade Magpie. It is definitely like a pink. I might almost use this more as like a glowy like cream blush, because this I think is a little too dark for me to use as a highlighter. I think it came in a duo with a cream blush stick from them that I have. Then next beside it is the Tarte the Spotlight stick highlighter in the, not the Spotlight stick highlighter, it's the Twinkle stick highlighter in the shade Spotlight. I've been enjoying this, like layering it underneath my foundation, and sometimes even on top of it if I'm just going for like a more natural day. It's very like in the camera, like the viewfinder, to me it doesn't look that impactful, so hopefully you can see it like on camera. Next to it is the Tarte Tartist Pro Glow in the tube in the shade Exposed. It's very like an icy golden kind of look. I might could use that one in the same way as Perla, like mixing it in with foundations. They do, here's that one, and then here's Perla. They look very similar, except Perla, at least in person, is definitely more like golden. And then this last one, this itty bitty baby swatch down here, is that Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand in the shade Alight. It's it definitely, it feels like a concealer, like I'm not gonna lie, and it actually, if I open it up for you guys, you can see like it is just like a little dofa, like your concealer wand would be. So I'm not quite sure if you guys know anything. I mean, I could look it up, but let's be honest, I'm just lazy. So yeah, but there are swatches of all of my cream highlighters. Okay, so I honestly don't know the best way to do this. I think we'll kind of take it palette by palette almost. So we'll look at a palette and then I'll swatch it and show it to you guys, and then we'll move on to the next one, because I think I have something like 22 powder highlighters, which is just crazy. So I'll first show you, this is the Makeup Revolution collaboration with Soph palette, and it's an 8-pan highlighter palette, and the highlighters don't have any names on them. I am way more drawn to this like lighter side, obviously. I am interested to try this one as maybe like a blush topper, and I think I could, with a very light hand, get away with using these three as like a traditional like powder highlighter. My favorites out of this palette though are the purple, the light pink, and then this interesting like white gold one. This to me reminds me of Marshmallow from the ABH Sugar Glow palette. Like just this whole little quad right here kind of reminds me of that palette. It's not like an exact dupe or anything, but I think that by having these four, it's like made me realize that I don't need that Sugar Glow kit. So I will swatch these for you. Alright, so the way I swatched them on my arm was this way and then this way. So, and again, sorry, they don't have names, but here's that like white gold one that I was saying reminds me a lot of Marshmallow from ABH. And then here is the light pink one that I said was also a favorite in here. And then next to it is the light purple, which it looks way more like white on the swatch. Definitely the purple is like a very like, oh, what am I trying to say? Like the purple just isn't like that vibrant from it, so it makes it a lot more wearable in my opinion. And then there's that dark one that I said maybe could work more as like a blush topper. And then at the end here's like a peachy one. Hopefully you can tell. But yeah, so far I am really loving this palette. I do like to mix them, like the purple mixed with the pink, or the purple mixed with the white gold, or even the one next to it. I'm really glad that this made a reappearance into my life, because I'd actually decluttered this to a friend and then she decluttered it back to me. So I decided to keep it and try it out, and I'm really happy that I did decide to do that. So there's that palette down. Then we have the BH Cosmetics Blushing in Bali palette. Now this does have it has 3 blushes at the top, which you can see I've went ham on this one. And then it has these 3 highlighters here. I honestly have not even attempted to touch this one in any way. I know I could use it as like an eyeshadow. It's called Ember. But I have used Glisten and Sunkissed, and I really do like these. So I'm going to swatch these 3 shades for you. Okay, so here are those 3. So it's Glisten, Sunkissed, and Ember. And y'all, this is the first like thing from BH Cosmetics I think I have owned. I might have had an eyeshadow palette by them like some time ago, maybe, I don't know. This is the first like face products I've owned from them. And the blushes and the highlighters in this palette, they are just so ridiculously like soft feeling, like in a good way. Like they just feel so nice and smooth. They're so easy to apply and work with. I've really been loving them. It has definitely made me want to try more face products from BH Cosmetics. I know they just came out with like some quad blush palettes that I've had my eye on, but yeah, I definitely have gotten a lot of enjoyment out of this palette, and I'm really glad that I was gifted this for Christmas. Okay, so we'll do this Tarte palette next. I would flip it over and show you the name. It's the Skin Twinkle Volume 2 palette. It's just very reflective packaging, so if I flip it over, like all you're gonna see basically is like the camera and stuff. But I'm just going to open it up. Now, I do have one shade out of here used up. This was the darkest shade, and it was called Candlelight. I actually mixed this into a body lotion last summer and used it up that way. I might do the same thing with Spotlight here. I've never used this one on my face, but I have used these 2 shades. Let's see, they're called Daylight and Skylight on my face. Skylight is probably my most favorite. Alright, so here they are swatched out. Again, this is Daylight, Skylight, and Spotlight. And I do have Spotlight, as you just saw, in the stick form. And it looks a lot darker in the pan than it actually does like swatched out. Like swatched out, it looks almost identical to the cream formulation. So I am actually interested to try this out on my face since I have been enjoying the cream version so much. But yeah, I just really like the Tarte highlighter formula. I think it's a great formula. Again, it's really nice and soft. I don't have any like problems with this palette. I just need to remember to reach for it more. Like I have found that I just struggle to reach for palettes. Like I'm more likely to pull out like singles, and so I do have some magnetic palettes on order. They should be here because I have thought about depotting like a bunch of these palettes and turning them into singles. That way I would get more use out of them. And the other good thing about Tarte is that their pans are magnetic, so once you pop them out of there, which that can be a little bit of a battle depending on like what it is. Like blushes I've found have popped out really easy, but like highlighters not so much. But once you get past that point, like their pans are magnetic, at least all the ones that I have depotted. So that's really nice, like if you were wanting to depot things. So there's that palette. And then this one is just a little magnetic palette from ColourPop, but it has 3 more Tarte highlighters in it that I have actually depotted. So this first one, I don't remember the name of it. I think it's Pure Soul. It was from the Tarte Aspen Ovard collaboration palette where it was the eyeshadows and then a blush and a highlighter. I kept the blush and the highlighter, and my friend actually was over and she saw that that palette was originally in like my Project 10 uses, and she was like, oh, I really love this, like I would get so much use out of this. So I just went ahead and gave it to her. And then this highlighter from Tarte is from the that little Weekend Hamptons palette where it was like a blush, a bronzer, and a highlighter. I finished off the bronzer, I frankened the blush, and so the highlighter's left, and I think the highlighter was called Beach Getaway. And then this last one is also from Tarte. It's from their Tartist Pro Glow palette, that big black thing where it was like 4 highlighters, a bronzer, and a cream bronzer. This is the shade Stunner. Okay, so here are these swatched out. This again is from the Aspen Ovard palette. I think it's Pure Soul. This is from the Hamptons Weekender palette. I think it's the shade Beach Getaway. And then this is the shade Stunner from that Pro Glow palette. Sorry, I can tell like the lighting is changing, but it's a little cloudy here. We're just gonna work through it, right? I'm noticing a trend. I have a lot of golden highlighters and a lot of white highlighters. So far, all of the ones that I have showed you out of like the powder ones have not been like in any projects or anything. I do have one other Tarte one. It's from this palette. This is like a self-made face palette. It's my Pan That Face palette, so spoiler alert, I guess, but I do have this Tarte highlighter in the shade Strobe, so I will swatch this one out and put it right next to those other 4, but I am trying to finish up the items in here. So here on the end is the shade Strobe. It really probably is my favorite out of all the Tarte highlighters that I have, hence why it's in that palette, and it is in the Pan That Face palette. So I think I will finish it off, maybe not by the end of the year, but be very close. You can see like there was a big chunk of pan already in it. When I put it into the project, it already had pan on it, but I definitely think I have expanded it. So there are those highlighters. Okay, I just did a quick like recap just to make sure I didn't miss any like highlighter, but so these are the only 4 like single highlighters that I have. 3 are from ColourPop and 1 is from theBalm. So we'll start with this one. It's theBalm Mary-Lou Manizer, and I used to see this raved about so much on YouTube, and then it kind of like I never see anyone really talk about it. I absolutely love this thing. It is not in any kind of project. It never has been in any project. I just reach for it so often. Look at that massive dip, and I still haven't hit pan on it. Like I don't know how this product is so deep, and it's so worth it. I absolutely love this. Once I finish this highlighter off, it will definitely be one that I repurchase because it's just so nice. I love to mix it with everything. I'm really enjoying it. Then we have this one from ColourPop. It was part of their Disney designer collection. It's the Sleeping Beauty one in the shade Coronation. And so it is like a pinky highlighter. Again, I've used this like a time or 2 as a face highlight, but this summer I'm interested to layer this on top of blushes and try like to have more of a glowy blush. I typically like matte blushes, but I'm going to try this year to see, because I do have some glowy blushes in my collection. So I want to try to use those, but also make some of the matte blushes I have glowy blushes. So that's probably how this will get used. And then I do have 2 of the ColourPop Supershock highlighters. This one is Smoke and Whistles, which is right here. And then this one is Flexitarian. Flexitarian is in my Project 50 pan thing right now. I like this, but it's so icy white that I like to mix it with other highlighters, but then I've lately been feeling like it gives me like a gray cast. So I'm trying to find like the perfect highlighter to mix this with, because on its own it's just far too starkly white. It looks a little off. But some of the shades that I've been mixing it with, I feel like it does leave a gray cast. So, but let me go ahead and get these all swatched for you. Okay, so I didn't really open these up and show you, but this is the shade Smoke and Whistles here in the pan, and I do have really good pan on it. This wasn't a project earlier this year, and it was quite easier than I thought, like to hit pan, and so I am definitely, this is my favorite out of the 2 ColourPops that I have, like the Supershock ones. So definitely this would be a repurchase if I ever do finish that one off. And then here is Flexitarian in the pan. So let me, screw that back on, and then I will show you the swatches. So here's the Balm Mary-Lou Manizer, and you can see it's just like this really pretty soft gold. If you are not into like a very like bam in your face highlighter, I definitely recommend this one. It's very subtle, very like natural. It plays so nicely if you do want to layer it with other ones. I really enjoy this. And then next to that is the ColourPop Disney one, the Sleeping Beauty Coronation. Hopefully you can tell that is like a rosy kind of pink highlighter. And then here's Flexitarian and Smoke and Whistles. So you can see how like icy white that is. Like that's just one swipe, like one little go in the pan and then one swipe. And then Smoke and Whistles is next to it. I love Smoke and Whistles because it has like this pretty like champagne pink undertone to it. So definitely happy. I absolutely love the Supershock formula too. It's just really great. So, but that is it. That is all of my powder highlighters. Well, and my cream highlighters. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I really love to watch these kinds of videos. I mean, obviously my favorite are like eyeshadow palette collection videos, but I just thought it would be really fun to like give you guys like an in-depth look with swatches and everything of like what I have. And then that way too, like I find these are helpful in case I do have like my eye on anything, and then I can see like a swatch and things of it like that. So, but that's it. I'm gonna quit rambling, and then I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.